All right, guys, welcome to episode 43 of the Simply Put podcast. I am your host, Micki Angeles.
And you're fucking with me, you're fucking with the best. I am Fred Niones, aka Angelo.
Hey, it's Jay.
And this is the place where we discuss the news surrounding the world of entertainment that interests us this week.
So, in the meantime, in between time, let's get this episode started.
So, guys, this is going to be a brand new recording session. I don't know if you guys know, but the northeastern states of the United States has been hit with a blizzard.
Fuck you, Snow!
Of supposedly historic proportions, but we did want to give you guys your episode since tons of news came out from the last week and some even came out this week on Monday. So we are actually testing something out, so I don't know how that quality is going to turn out to be, but hopefully you guys like it. We're doing this via if you're following us or subscribed on YouTube, you actually could possibly have been watching us now live. But if not, we're recording this via Google Hangout, and hopefully that all works out pretty well. So, like I said, I'm Micki Angeles. We got Jay here. We got Fred here. We're going to hang out. We're going to do this Google Hangout today and do some news. But first, let's catch up with everybody's week. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good. I had to shovel a lot of snow and actually caught Most Violent Year yesterday.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
Fantastic film with Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. To me, it really echoed The Godfather in the sense of how Michael Corleone was transitioning the family from illegal to legal. But in Most Violent Year, it's Oscar Isaac trying to stay legal without going illegal and staying corrupt. And the way it unfolds is a fantastic story, and the backdrop of 1981 New York, they got it perfectly, man.
See, I'm very excited to see that too, because I know you're saying Godfather, but just for the trailer's sake, I thought it looked a lot like Goodfellas. I'm sorry, looked like more like Goodfellas. But if it's gonna be the vibe of the Godfather, I'm very excited to see it. Hopefully, in this.
Yeah, when you watch it, they do take Goodfellas things like with the trucks getting ambushed and robbed. That's like the main story of why he's doing what he's doing right now. Oscar Isaac's character.
So
Bel Morales.
I'm definitely excited to see this then. Hopefully the snow lets up and we can watch that. Jay, how was your week?
Week was fine. Didn't really do anything. Prepping myself for the big Sunday on this coming Sunday, February 1st, for the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's.
Are you still watching it by yourself, bro?
Yes, I am.
Dude, we gotta do some party sometime, so we gotta figure it out.
Word.
We'll see about that.
So as it is right now, not only did the snow come unexpectedly, at least for myself, a few other news dropped. So I just wanted to touch upon like opinions before we get into the real deal topics that we're gonna go in depth with. First, we got Emma Watson being casted as Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast. She will play Belle. What are your thoughts, guys, on those?
I'm with it. It's definitely what they're doing Cinderella first, and now it's Beauty and the Beast. I hope they do a live-action Aladdin next. That's my personal preference. That's my favorite Disney princess. But getting back to Emma, it's Emma Watson, right?
Emma Watson, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic pick, and I wonder who the Beast is gonna be. Hopefully, it's not the one with like what's her name, Vanessa Hudgens and Beastly. That one was terrible.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was fucking terrible, bro.
He was like very full of himself, and then he.
That's the one with Alex Pettyfer.
Yeah.
Mary-Kate Olsen and Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh yeah, she's the one that cursed the whatever his name is. I am number 4. I am number 4.
Yeah.
So Jay, what do you think about Emma Watson becoming Belle from Beauty and the Beast live action?
When I first heard it, when we first said it, I thought you said Emma Stone, and I would have been like, wait, I don't know about that. But with Emma Watson, yeah, I could see that happening. She has that classic beauty for the Disney type tale, you know.
And other quick news that also came out today was supposedly the Fantastic Four costume designs came out, but not actually the actual designs, but more of a readout of what it is. But the people at Nerdist actually took the time out to sketch out the drawings, and we saw it. What do you guys think about that?
To me, it was reminiscent of what Nolan was doing with the Batman, where the suits have a function, and it looks
Yeah,
like
functionality.
and in Nerdist they said Mr. Fantastic's suit has springs, so he could retract back without hurting him, and with they saying Johnny Storm's powers are the most unstable. That's why he has vents, so he air out and have oxygen come out, which is very cool. I can't wait to see what Miss Invisible looks like, and I really dig in the design, the artist rendering design for the Thing. I like how he looks more like a linebacker instead of like a giant rock boulder thing like we saw in Thor: The Dark World. But very cool, very cool.
Yeah, I'd absolutely have to agree with Fred. I think Miss Invisible, the costume by itself should just be invisible. You know, why can't we just see? You know,
Just a floating head.
Yes, a floating head. That'd be fine. I'd be good with that. We don't need no costume for Miss Invisible.
So yeah,
But
so I put the,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. I just put the designs up, so if people want to check it out, they can check it out there.
Yep. I love the vents, as Fred said. The springs on Mr. Fantastic. I like how they drew their faces too and everything. That's pretty cool. And Thing. Who's playing the Thing again? What's his name?
Jamie Bell.
It's not Ben
I think.
Foster.
Jamie Bell.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. Like, yeah, he's gonna get that big though. Like he has to pass on as a bodyguard type, but we'll see. We'll see as it all unfolds.
Well, it from what I've read is gonna be more of like the Ultimate Universe, and actually it's the Thing and Miss Invisible that's a couple, and not Mr. Fantastic and Miss Invisible and the Invisible Woman.
Whoa, I don't know about that.
No, it's a different take, so you know we'll see what happens. The trailer's supposed to come out with Kingsman, so we'll see what happens.
You know me, I'm very uneasy with deriving from the original and going with another take.
I think as long as they capture the essence of it, it's fine with me. Just what Nolan did with Batman. You know, he's just a guy with a bat suit, but he made him a mortal guy. He got hurt. He got old. So this is probably where Josh Trank is going with the Fantastic Four.
All right, guys. So that was the news that came out pretty much today. But now we're going to go into the topics that we have on hand. And just to give you guys a brief rundown, we're going to be going over some of the superhero castings that came out. Mostly with X-Men. We got our Supergirl. We got a certain someone that might play opposite of Benedict Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange. With Tom Hardy leaving and Jake Gyllenhaal passing on the Rick Flag character, we got two people that are eyed to play the part, and we're going to discuss that. We're going to go over Leo in the Revenant photo that we just released, and we're also going to talk about Simon Pegg doing double duty with writing Star Trek 3 as also starring in it. And we're going to go to the final topic. We're going to talk about Steve Jobs, the biopic for him. That's from Aaron Sorkin's script is finally in motion, and they shot about 2 weeks ago. And so let's get this underway. So topic number one with the superhero castings, we have X-Men Apocalypse. We find out that Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are not returning, but we have Sophia Turner playing Jean Grey, Ty Sheridan playing Scott Summers, and Alexandra Shipp playing Storm.
I like the Sophie Turner news. I think we called that a couple months ago, and I like how they casted her. She's so good as Sansa in Game of Thrones. You know, she's a big whore. Game of Thrones, so, hey, shut up, leave her alone. And with Sir Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen not coming back, I'm fine with that. Like they've told their side of the story enough already, and now we could focus on the First Class side.
Yeah, like I said before, you know, to me, Days of Future Past was like the swan song for the original cast members. So I'm fine with Sir Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart not being in Apocalypse. But you know, it is time for the new blood to take over. So I love the casting for Cyclops. Ty Sheridan was great in Mud. He really was going back and forth with Matthew McConaughey in that. He really surprised me as a young actor to stand up with Matthew McConaughey. To me, the Sophie Turner casting was more like towards the Game of Thrones like fan base. So they tried to bring that in. But the episodes I've seen so far this past season with her character Sansa, It really did show growth, so I can't wait to see what she does with Jean Grey. And I don't really know anything about Alexandra Shipp besides the fact that she was in that Aaliyah Lifetime movie, which people hated, but I'm not gonna put that on her. So we'll see what happens. But if Bryan Singer and Fox feels that she has the talent to be Storm, I can't wait. I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with everything you guys are saying. I think Sophia Turner is pretty much the one who is most known from the three. But I have watched Mud, and Mud and Joe, where Ty Sheridan was in. But to me, he played very similar roles in both those movies. But I think he has a lot of acting chops, and he can definitely play Cyclops very well. One issue I might have is maybe a height thing. With Sophie Turner being a little bit taller than Ty
She's like
Sheridan.
6 foot.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how that's going to play in as far as their respective, heights going to look as well. But Alexandra Shipp, she's one of the less known, I would say, or less known at least with me. I didn't see the Aaliyah movie, but as long as she plays Aurora correctly, I think we're going to be pretty happy with it. And with Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, I got to agree with Fred saying that they're going to be. It's definitely, it's not really a passing of the torch, but I feel that it's just time for new blood, because there's going to be a day when we're going to have a different Wolverine. So
Exactly.
we're going to have to be preparing ourselves. And I look kind of weird with this video thing, but since we're calling this pretty much like the trilogy, so we have X-Men First Class, we have Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, pretty much running out the Matthew Vaughn / Bryan Singer new X-Men verse. Are they preparing these three to be propelling the franchise forward, or do you guys think that they're just going to be in this for just this one movie for Apocalypse?
The way the climate is now for comic book movies, they're asking actors to be in multiple projects. So them signing on, I'm assuming they have at least a 3-picture deal, because they're going to probably do this and then probably a new X-Men thing. My concern is that they actually make Cyclops be Cyclops and Storm be Storm, where in the comics they were leaders of the respected X-Men teams in the 90s when they were Team Gold and Team Blue. I would love to see that, seeing Cyclops be a leader and Storm being the, Mother Nature, having Mother Nature powers, controlling the, tsunamis and stuff like that. I want to see that type of stuff in the Apocalypse movie.
I agree with you guys, but I don't think they're going to be the ones that are going to be launching the new X-Men trilogies forward, because I don't think they have enough movie star power too. Like I don't think they have the. I think they're just going to be a little bit of a cameo type characters. Like it's not going to really revolve around them as much. Do you guys get what I mean?
Well, they said the same thing when the first X-Men came out with Hugh Jackman and Famke Janssen. The only well-known was Halle Berry, maybe. And
yeah, that's 100% right. No one believed in Hugh Jackman. No, Famke Janssen was just a supermodel. But I think as we're coming into this day of age, like I do agree with Jay a lot that are these three really going to carry a film franchise with Sophie Turner being the most well-known, but not, I don't think she would really star in a movie anyway, to be honest with you. So where do you guys see this going forward? Like, do you guys see this, like, who else are they going to add? Like, are they going to add, since X-Men Apocalypse is going to be taking place in the 80s, are they going to add a new X-Men, I keep on saying X-Men when I mean Wolverine. Are they going to, because it's pretty one-on-one, because, X-Men movies are Wolverine movies. So do you guys think, are they going to add the Gambit and another Wolverine or another Nightcrawler into this franchise at X-Men Apocalypse? Or do you guys feel that whatever the new X-Men franchise is just going to be maybe a different First Class than what we're used to?
This is where my concern is, because, the first Class was in the 60s, I believe. Then we moved to the 70s, now to the 80s. Do they keep going a decade up until we get to the 2000s where the first X-Men movie came out? So I don't really know. I hope they stick with these three. I want to see what they bring to these characters. If they do introduce Gambit in the Apocalypse movie, so we'll see. So I guess the Gambit solo is gonna be in the 80s or in the 90s maybe, and we don't even know where Deadpool is right now. So there's a lot of questions right now with this franchise.
Yeah, to me, there's too much questions in it. If they were gonna go on with setting up another trilogy after Apocalypse, maybe they should just go Shi'ar Empire with, but then just like retelling the whole Phoenix thing in a different way.
Maybe the right way.
Yeah, the right way, the way they should have did it.
All right, guys. So let's move in. Actually, also news that came out today, at least. It's a little scattered. I didn't really get a chance to read it all. But supposedly Fox wants to come out with an X-Men TV franchise. So what do you guys feel? Would you guys be willing to watch a live-action X-Men show?
As long as it's X Factor with multiple men, where they're like detectives, like private eyes almost, and they're hired by other mutants to like do dirty jobs or whatever, stuff like that. That's the type of mutant TV show I would like to see.
As long as it's not Gotham, where they're just doing the Charles Xavier Institute for Gifted Children type thing, I'll watch it. But as what Fred said, yeah, I'd rather watch something like that.
And from what I heard, or from what I sort of read, that the main reason why this might not even go through is because since it's not a movie, they're actually going to have to talk to Marvel to try to move this forward, and it seems like Marvel's the only thing that's lagging to get this forward. So what do you guys think about like Marvel pretty much putting the hammer down, saying that, you know, we'll take our time with deciding if we want to do a TV show? Do you think that's fair for them, you know, to do that, especially when they already have Agents of Shields on? Or do you feel that, you know, Marvel just needs to let them have the X-Men and just let them run with it?
I think since the Fox has had the X-Men franchise for the movies for like since 2000, just give them the TV show. We already got the Netflix Marvel Studios series coming out. We have Agents of Shield. Agent Carter's killing it. So, you know, Marvel Studios, give Fox the X-Men TV rights.
No, I don't agree. Marvel should have everything. Marvel should have X-Men, should have everybody that is not under their grasp right now. So they should just relinquish everything. So I don't agree.
All right, guys. So let's switch it over to the next news. We have Supergirl coming out at CBS. Supergirl has been found to be Melissa Benoist.
Benoist.
I'm moist.
She is gonna be the new Supergirl. Not much is really known in my mind for her. She was in Glee. I really didn't recognize her when I first saw her pictures, that she is the girlfriend to the Miles Teller character in Whiplash. So from those two hits, I'm not really sure how many people really know about her. But looking at her, she does look that Kara Zor-El look. So what do you guys feel about her?
Her hair's got to be really like golden blonde for my liking.
Her eyes have to be blue.
No, I don't really care about the eyes, but it's the hair. But yeah, like you said, I didn't watch Glee. I didn't really watch Whiplash, but it's great that we finally have a casting for this. And judging and after reading the plot synopsis, I'm very thankful that we're not having another Smallville where she's just learning her character, like learning her powers and stuff like that. I think they're gonna concentrate more on the fact that she's Superman's cousin, and she's destined to be a great hero like him. So maybe she's, you know, finally grasping at that destiny and willing to take over that mantle of being a super woman or super girl.
So then, this isn't also in the realm of the movies, right? So we won't see a Superman at all. We won't see a Kal-El or anything, right?
Well, to my understanding, just judging by what the Arrow writers or Arrow showrunners have been saying, is that there are very strict guidelines to what they can and cannot say about the Batman franchise and Superman franchise and the respective shows, which is pretty much why I feel Arrow's doing a lot of Batman stories in their show. But for the Supergirl CBS show, from what I'm hearing, there's certain stipulations in the contract, whereas the shows can intertwine with each other for like a certain number of episodes, like 1 or 2 episodes. So it's gonna be, I think, in the TV verse. I'm not sure how it's gonna affect the movie verse.
Well,
so that's gonna be weird. Like you have Supergirl, you have to mention Superman, like, or you have him like at least show up or something. To me personally.
Well, they could do like a Birds of Prey thing that the Birds of Prey TV show that came out in WB like 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, where they're saying, oh, she's the daughter of Batman, but they never actually show Batman. So they could just probably name drop, maybe. They would have to. I agree with you. They would have to, because he is Kal-El's cousin.
Like they have to show him hang out or something.
And I think the main concern me and Angelo have had for a while now is, oh wow, you guys could see my oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm so weird with video. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But our concern is we don't want this to be another Smallville. We don't want Clark Kent formulating his powers and then going into the blur. I want to see Kara have her powers already and how she's going to be dealing with it. Because if we're going to go to another origin story, whereas she's just this mild girl who was whatever she was doing and then suddenly she got woken up and then she got her powers, I'd rather her understand what she has and her dealing with how to use them in the right way. And what is her moral compass, because we have no idea yet, because at least with Clark, the Kents took him in and they're the ones who taught them the morality, the man within the super, whereas Supergirl, we're going to get the super and the girl at the same time. And I guess what I want to know is I want them to pretty much find a story where she's dealing with these issues of having powers and finding her moral compass. Like, I want her to like chase down a bad guy and almost kill him. And I don't know. Am I making sense? I'm not really sure if I'm making any sense.
Yeah, no, I get you. I understand.
No, it's like what Green Arrow said to Flash. Like, oh, you have the ability to look around and scout, but you just head straight in. So I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, and I want to see her with the powers and try to lead a normal life too at the same time.
That's exactly it, and it's one of those concepts that the hero deals with. It's not always I think the Flash and Arrow deal with it tremendously well. And I think when Arrow first came out, the way Oliver Queen dealt with his obligations to his family, as well as getting the bad guy, and how he needed people around him. He needed Diggle to kind of cover for him, and then you get I'm losing. What's her name again? No. What's an Arrow? I'm
Felicity
losing.
Smock?
Felicity, yeah, Felicity, and then you get Roy, and then now you're adding Laurel in it. So that's the main thing about me is what is the story gonna be? Because I barely know anything really about Melissa, but I think that her role in Whiplash was short, but she was good in whatever 5 minutes she had on the screen time. So the next biggie we got going on is supposedly there's going to be another well-known, very well-trained actor, Chiwetel Ejiofor, joining Benedict Cumberbatch in the Doctor Strange film. So giving my 2 cents in, I feel we might see Chiwetel Ejiofor become, I think, Baron Mordo, in my opinion. He's a high-class actor. I wouldn't want to bring him to whatchamacallit. I don't want him to bring it into the Marvel Universe and have this Idris Elba effect, whereas Heimdall was a great character, but I want Chiwetel Ejiofor to have a stronger role. And whether it's a good guy or bad guy, I just want him to be, well-versed in this universe, and I want to see him as Baron Mordo, and I think he'll have pretty much a great presence with a Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Marvel Studios does learn from their mistakes. We've seen it with Iron Man 2, where they tried to, hint at everything else and connect everything. So I think they are gonna make him Baron Mordo. Micki said before that Doctor Strange is becoming like the best acting Marvel Studios film potentially. So I'm all for it. But with this news that Chiwetel Ejiofor is going to be Baron Mordo, Daniel Brohl's character is now up in the air. We don't know who he's going to be. I thought my inclination would be, since he's going to show up in Cap and Doctor Strange, he'd be the Hood, where he has he's been in both comics, like beefing with both of them. Where like when he'd face Cap, he'd have like a whole bunch of guys because he's the godfather of the underworld in New York, and then with Doctor Strange, his powers come from Dormammu, and that's Doctor Strange big bad. So I hope it is the Hood for Daniel Brühl anyway.
Agree with both of you. Like, I don't want this great actor to be such misused, so they gotta hit it out of the park with the casting and all that. I mean, like, character placement, you know. Yeah, and he's such a great actor. 12 Years a Slave, he was so good in it, and all those other movies that he's been so good in. Even in Kinky Boots, playing a drag queen. Like, man, that was the reason why I finished that movie, just because of him.
And we've seen him play a villain before with his roles in Serenity and Four Brothers, where he was really good in both films, and he actually wanted to be the main bad guy in the new Bond movie, Spectre, but he ultimately lost that part. So I'm happy he's with Marvel, and hopefully we find out who he's gonna be soon.
All right, with the next news, closing out the topic of superhero casting, we have Rick Flagg. We've talked about him last week, whereas Tom Hardy left the film to pursue Revenant, but more details has emerged, maybe talking about the script having certain problems. That could be the case because Jake Gyllenhaal did pass on it. But we have two people who are now eyed to play the role. We have Joe Bernthal, who you might know from...
John Bernthal.
Okay, I'm sorry. John Bernthal, you might know him from The Walking Dead. He was also in Fury. And also in the running is Joel Edgerton. And you might know him from Exodus, or maybe not, because no one really watched that film. So between the two, let's start off with that casting. Supposedly right now, Joel Edgerton is rumored to be the leading candidate to play Rick Flagg. With my thoughts, I'm not sure if I'm a fan. I don't see him being that military presence to the squad and who he is. But as far as having, Will Smith, you have why am I missing everybody's names? You have
Maggie
Robbie.
There you go. Margot Robbie, Jai Courtney. So like, if it's gonna be Deadshot, which is Will Smith being the lead, as well as Jared Leto as a Joker. So I think that Joel Edgerton is not that big of a star compared to those two. So maybe it might be a perfect fit.
I like Joel Edgerton. I actually wanted him to be Thor before they casted Hemsworth because I thought he had the look. But to me, John Bernthal should get the part because we've seen it in Walking Dead. He brings that intensity that Rick Flagg has, where in the comics he's had like mental issues and stuff like that, and we've seen that with Shane in Walking Dead. So I would love to, and Bernthal has worked with Ayer before on Fury, so there's they know each other already. So I would want John Bernthal to be Rick Flagg.
Definitely agree with Fred with the whole thing with the John Bernthal thing, but I kind of wanted to save him for probably a Marvel film. I think he'd do good in a Marvel film, but if not, he'd be great as a Rick Flagg.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm still concerned with certain issues with the film itself. For Jake Gyllenhaal passing, I'm not really sure what his other obligations were, but in my opinion, I feel that he should have had some underlying reason for why he left, and I think the main reason is script. And if we're going to be talking about the casting, I don't know, Bernthal looks more like that militant militia guy. If it wasn't him, and the other person I would have cast for Rick Flagg would be, oh man, what's his name? He's Crossbones. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
What's his? I forget. If he wasn't had his obligations with Captain America and the Marvel Universe, I would have him as Rick Flagg. Oh, what is his name again?
I forgot.
I gotta look it up, but it would be him if it wasn't anybody else.
I'm looking it up right now. I think it's like Joe something.
Nah, I don't think so.
Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo, yeah, I would have had Frank Grillo be Rick Flag because I think he has the body build and I think he has a demeanor to be that militant soldier guy to lead these rambunctious, pretty much criminals into a suicide mission.
I would actually want the guy. What's his name? He played the Punisher in 2004. Thomas Jane. I would want him to be.
Nah, I don't think he wants to do those type of roles anymore, though.
I know, but I'm just saying. I think he would be a perfect, thing because he already played a military guy in the Punisher, so be easy, easy transition.
And also in that casting rumor, we got Joe Magnum PI gonna be Deathstroke in Suicide Squad. So what do you guys feel about that?
I love it, man. He has the look. He got, he's fucking brolic as shit. I know he hurt himself recently, so I don't know how that's gonna affect filming, but hopefully he is Deadshot. He's fucking tall too, right? He's like 6'4". So
he's a big dude.
So you're gonna
big fella.
I read a report from Joe Blow that had rumors that saying that he's gonna be working against the Suicide Squad, like he's a mercenary hired to capture to capture the Enchantress, who the Suicide Squad trying to capture too. So to see that is gonna be cool.
Yeah, one-man armory versus a 6-people squad. I like that.
And looking into the Joel Edgerton look, if you look at this picture right here, like he would be a perfect Wolverine. He has like the widow's peak. His hair's already flowing into that same kind of formation that you would see with the traditional Wolverine character. And I don't know, he got the acting chops to play a superhero, I think.
And he's Australian, so he could do it.
Aussie.
He could be in the lineage, even though Canadian. All right, guys. So that's gonna kill that topic of our casting news. So the reason Tom Hardy left Suicide Squad was to be in the picture from the director Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu and starring Leonardo DiCaprio. So that movie was called Revenant, and we're going to talk about the Leonardo DiCaprio photo we got from Revenant. Angelo, why don't you start us off?
Oh, I absolutely love this picture. Leo as Hugh Glass. I love the premise for the film is very good, and who doesn't like a revenge tale? And I actually did some research on Hugh Glass. I can't wait to see his fight with the grizzly bear, because all of the skin on his back gets ripped up. And to see that is going to be crazy.
Yeah, also looking at this picture, it looks, wow. Maybe it's Leo's Oscar movie. Maybe.
Maybe.
I hope.
That's what a lot of people are saying. I think when you had a director like Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, I just love saying his name, especially from what we saw at Birdman and the way he shot it and the way it was cut and edited, very, very mysterious on how Birdman did not get an editing nomination. Very concerning about that. But otherwise, I feel that I would definitely have left this film and to be, opposite of Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy in it. The picture itself looks amazing. It looks just like what Angelo says. A revenge tale is always one of those things where everybody can relate to. We have another movie coming out this year with the same kind of premise with The Hateful Eight. But Leonardo looks like he always looks like he's ready to get his Oscar nomination, but in this film, I think he's going to get it, especially with a director like Iñárritu and what he's done with Michael Keaton and Birdman. I got to agree that this is definitely Leonardo DiCaprio's year, especially when we haven't even seen the movie yet. I'm going to stick my foot in there and in the Leonardo DiCaprio pool and give him full range in this movie. I'm very excited to see it.
And I also read that they're actually shooting in British Columbia, Canada, where it's like freezing out there. So Iñárritu is putting the actors into that mind frame of the freezing cold, and Leonardo DiCaprio's character having to trek that cold while he's injured. It's gonna be really great. And to go back to the editing thing, Iñárritu is actually planning on shooting this chronologically, which is adding to the production. So I can't wait to see how that works out.
Hey, if they wanted to make them feel cold, why don't they just shoot in the nor'easter states with this nor'easter going on right now?
I know.
I think British Columbia got the better production value with the woods and stuff like that. with their forest.
They could have put him in Cunningham Park or something, or Central Park.
Yeah, and I like the look of maybe not the look. I'm using the
Leo?
wrong word. Yeah, the feel and the emotions that this picture brings to me. It's like Dancing with Wolves with Gray. It's just that kind of. It brings that nostalgic acting movies that we've seen, like Tombstone. Even though it's not a western, it has that feel.
Man versus the Wilderness.
Exactly,
Yeah.
just like that. Like Deliverance. If you have seen Deliverance,
Yeah,
minus the sodomy scene. But but other than that, it's something that it's bringing us back to this era where back in the 80s and the 90s, those were the action movies that we've seen, but it was more than an action movie. It had a lot of depth in character, depth in story. So I'm very excited to see it, and the picture itself got me very excited. And then you add Tom Hardy into that, and you add everything else into the mix: the story, the director, the actors who's coming into this. I think there's somebody else got casted, but I'm not really too sure. But I'm very excited to see it.
It's the kid from the We Are the Millers and Maze Runner. That white boy.
Oh yeah. He was not that bad in Maze Runner. I don't think Maze Runner was a great movie, but
Yeah,
as far as acting, him and the other girl, Kara Solvi, the girl from Skins. If you ever saw Skins, the BBC version, she was really good in that too. So moving into the next topic, we have Simon Pegg has been reached out to write.
Yay!
Doing double duty to write and star in Star Trek 3. Robert Orci got fired. We got a new director, Justin Long.
Lin, not Long.
Oh, yeah, Justin Long. I mean, Justin Lin.
Lin! That's saying Long!
Long.
He was in Tusk.
Justin Long was good, too.
Yeah.
The movie's going to be co-written by Doug Jung, which is, I think, got brought in by Justin Lin. The great news is that J.J. Abrams is still overseeing this franchise, even though he's with Star Wars, and it's good to see that J.J. Abrams gave the A-OK on this. It seems that Chris Pine also gave the great OK with this, saying that Simon Pegg is a perfect fit for this franchise and his writing style. So maybe we might see Scotty a little bit more in this movie. What do you guys think?
Even though I'm a Star Wars guy, I did enjoy the last two Star Trek movies, and I feel good about Pegg stepping in to help write the script. You know, he wrote along with Nick Frost, Shaun of the Dead, and World's End, and I love both of those movies, and very funny films. So I'm confident that he's going to bring in that type of humor that we haven't seen in the last two movies, and better dialogue.
Yeah, and the Star Trek movies, whatever scenes that he was in was like really, really great scenes, like scene-stealing scenes. So with him writing, I don't think he's gonna write himself too much into it. So he's gonna bring out more of the characters that are gonna be displayed in the movie. If you guys get what I mean.
What are your feelings on Star Trek 3 after seeing Into the Darkness? Because I feel that I'm not really sure what the story is gonna portray it as. Like, are we going to like some war with the Klingons?
No. They said at the end where the show started, they're doing that 5-year trek where they're
out in space.
They're out in space and like they're gonna basically
discover new worlds.
Yeah, discover new worlds that haven't been discovered yet in the solar system. So we're gonna see more aliens, more different planets, I hope. And you know, Simon Pegg defended the last film, so I like that. And you know, he's gonna bring in more. And you know, so I really can't wait for this. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, I'm also excited too. And another thing that I'm excited about is that Aaron Sorkin has finally got this thing going with the Steve Jobs biopic. Danny Boyle is set to direct it. We have Michael Fassbender playing Steve Jobs. We have Seth Rogen playing Steve Wozniak. And now the latest person to join, we have Jeff Daniels joining the film as John Scully. You know, Dumb and Dumber 2 wasn't a great representation of Jeff Daniels. We already know where he is in his career with the newsroom. You know, I don't know if you guys have Facebook. Well, everybody has Facebook. Anyways, there's that little snippet of him in Newsroom talking about America as the greatest country, and the powerful presence that he brings in that film, I think is going to be a great reflection on how he's going to act in this Steve Jobs biopic, and maybe we'll get a better understanding of what the story was. Because if you saw the was it Aaron Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher. If you saw that one, it was kind of so-so. I'm not really a fan of that film. I don't think it really portrayed Steve Jobs the way his biography did. So I'm very excited to see them starting filming on it. And even though they're doing the same thing as the other movie, where it's going to be starting in the garage of the actual Steve Jobs garage, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I find it fucking hilarious that when it was in Sony, it was in development hell, and then as soon as it got to fucking Universal, hey, fuck it, let's just shoot it right now. Let's go to Steve Jobs' old garage and just start shooting. Like you said, I totally agree with you. I can't wait to see what Fassbender. Not a bad third choice in my opinion. From Leo DiCaprio to Bale to Fassbender, you can't go wrong. I did see Jobs. I didn't like it at all, but I did love Josh Gad as Wozniak. So Seth Rogen's gonna definitely have to,
step up his game.
Step up his game, because Josh Gad, from what I read from the reviews and people who know Wozniak, they said Josh Gad was Wozniak in Jobs. So Seth Rogen, step your game up, son.
Yep, I totally agree with that. I want to see the chemistry between these three actors. These three really, really great actors. And yeah, as Fred said, like look how fast that it's moving when it's out of Sony. Like more. Let's get Spider-Man out of Sony. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, guys. So, being the last week in January, we're just gonna do a brief anticipated February 2015 movie release. We're just gonna go with one and kind of set it straight with that, since it is a shorter month, and I don't think that many movies are gonna show. So, who wants to start it off with their anticipated movie, one or two? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'm not really a horror guy, but for purely on the cast and the trailer really got me. I'm going with Lazarus Effect for my February movie. To see Mark Duplass, Donald Glover, to step into a realm that's like very serious. I can't wait to see what they do. And Olivia Wilde, mind blowing in the trailer.
Yep.
Mine would be Kingsman, the Secret Service. I think it's Matthew Vaughn coming back to an element where I think he's great at. Colin Firth, Michael Caine. You have Samuel L. Jackson, and you also have the new guy, Taron Egerton. Egerton, whatever. It's talking about the super secret spy agency recruits these kids, and kind of very MIB-ish. It's Colin Firth in an action role that we've never really seen him ever since since ever really. And that's one of my anticipated pick. But if I could go with like a guilty pleasure that I really want to go with, I'm gonna go with Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Me too.
I
love the first one.
I just gotta see it.
I fucking love the first one. Great White Buffalo. Great White Buffalo.
All right. My pick would be Jupiter Ascending. I know.
I knew it.
Big fan of it. Yeah. No. Well, I love the Wachowski siblings now. I want to see what they do with this story, and Mila Kunis, Channing Tatum, and Eddie Redmayne that just won one of the SAGs. Is it SAGs? SAGs was yesterday, right?
Yeah, he won a SAG.
Yeah, he won a SAG and a Golden Globe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to see how the story goes, how their acting does. But for my guilty pleasure, you guys already know what this is gonna be: 50 Shades of Grey.
I honestly thought you were gonna go with.
I kind of would want to go to the 50 Shades of Grey just to pick up some MILFs.
Hey, I'll join you.
I'm scared to go. They might be some freaky ass shit, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, you guys know that Game of Thrones has that IMAX experience now, right?
Yeah.
With the last 2 episodes of season 4, so it's 9 and 10. They're gonna show it on IMAX. They're gonna give the season 5 premiere trailer. That's gonna be really cool. That's gonna come out this weekend, I believe, January 29th, 30th, and it's gonna show. I'm really excited for that.
You gonna go?
Yeah. I want to go. We should all go check it out.
They're giving posters out too.
Yeah, yeah. What do you guys think of this? Like doing TV shows in movie theaters, not just regular movie theaters, IMAX movie theaters, and showing trailers for the next season. That just shows how big of a step TV is now.
And I think it really depends on what you're gonna watch. Like, I wouldn't want to watch True Detective in IMAX stream, but if it's like a Game of Thrones, action adventure, sword sandal kind of fantastical TV show like a GOT, I would be definitely interested in watching it on IMAX, obviously, because I feel that you might get engrossed with the dragons and the sword play and all that other jazz. So yeah, I would agree. Like I said, like I would like be excited to watch like a boxing fight in IMAX too.
Yeah. Or
That's
even
all.
like an Agents of Shield episodes.
Yeah, a Flash or Arrow. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And you said they're showing the last 2 episodes from season 4, right?
Yeah, so they're gonna show the fight at Castle Black.
Yeah, that's so. I would want to see that on an IMAX screen. You see like the frost giant shit they got. And the fucking, you don't know. What was that? Was that line that she says?
No, nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I want to go see it.
All right, guys. So it's that time of the podcast where we're gonna discuss. Are you ready? Are you ready, Jay?
What? Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Want to make sure.
What are we discussing? I'm gonna announce.
This is the first, Google Hangout that we're doing. So,
Google Hangout. What?
We're gonna get into Jay's portion of the show where he discusses the weekend box office contenders and champions. So, Jay, take it away.
Hey, y'all, this is the time of the podcast where I, Jay, announce the weekend box office contenders and champion. Check it out. Number 5 was number 4 last week. Tekken 3, bringing in $7.4 million. Its total gross is now at $75 million. Number 4 was number 2 last week, the comedy The Wedding Ringer, bringing in $11.3 million on its second week. Number 3 was also number 3 last week, Paddington, bringing in $12.2 million. New at number 2 is The Boy Next Door, and it brought in $14.9 million. Jeez, a lot of people wanted to see Jennifer Lopez's Golden Globes after the Golden Globes. And at number 1, still number 1, American Sniper, bringing in $64 million. Jesus. Okay, now its total gross is over $200 million just in 5 weeks. So look at that total budget. It's at, the budget was only $58 million, and it's way surpassed that. Good job, Bradley Cooper. I'm giving you a round of applause. Round of applause.
Hey, give it up to Birdman for staying in the top 15 still, man.
Yeah, but look at Mordecai, number 9. Well, well, that's weekend box office contenders and champion. I'm Jay. See y'all in the theaters.
All right, guys. If you didn't get a chance to check out any of those flicks, why don't you go take a peek with this week's Coming Attractions with Fred Niones?
Yes, this is Coming Attractions, and I am your synopsis guy, Fred Niones. For this week in film, we have a murder mystery, a family drama, and some found footage dealing with time travel. So here we go. Up first is The Loft, a remake of the 2008 Belgian film Loft. 5 married men share a secret loft where they used to meet their respective mistresses. However, when a woman is found dead in that loft, they begin to suspect each other of having committed the murder. The Loft is directed by Eric Van Looy, starring Carl Urban, James Marsden, and Wentworth Miller. Next up is Black or White. A recent widower is pulled into a custody battle over his granddaughter that he helped raise for all of her life. Black or White is directed by Mike Binder, starring Kevin Costner, Anthony Mackie, and Octavia Spencer. And for my pick of the week is Project Almanac. A group of friends discover plans to a time machine and build one. After using the time machine for their own purposes, they soon realize the consequences of changing the past. Project Almanac is directed by Dean Israelite, starring Johnny Weston, Sophia Beck, Ilya, and Sam Lerner. And that's a wrap for Coming Attractions.
Yeah, boy.
All right, guys, so that's going to kill the clock on what we have to say today. If you would like to submit us some topics, please subscribe to the Simply Put Talk. Oh, what? Sorry.
What?
There's a live oops right there. So if you guys want to submit topics, send them my way at simplyputtalk@gmail.com. Check our website for full details of updates and news at www.simplyputtalk.com. I'm messing this whole thing up. Just follow us on all the social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, at simplyputtalk, also in Instagram. And subscribe to us here on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes as a Simply Put podcast. I am still your host, Micki Angeles. Find me right here. I can't. Here. Here. Right there. Follow me at MickCertified on Twitter and on Instagram.
And I'm Fred Niones. If you guys can see that right there, I don't have that little bar thing. You can follow me. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _Fred_N right there.
And I'm Jay. You can follow me right over here.
Oh, look. See, now you
Twitter and Instagram. What? What'd I do now? Huh?
So
Twitter and Instagram. And Instagram, what is he? Is it backwards or is it the right way?
It's the right way. You got it.
Yay!
So that's going to kill the clock on everything that we have to say today. We appreciate your support, and please like, subscribe, rate, and follow. Everything down below. Till next time.
Peace out, guys. Be safe out there in the cold. Bye. You're in the East Coast.